I'd like to call there we go. I call to order the January 12th, 2026 meeting of the Planning and Zoning Commission. Commissioner Grossi, could you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Please stand.
Clerk, if you could take the roll call, please.
Chairperson Ted Erb, excused absence. Vice Chairperson Hewitt.
Here.
Commissioner Kaden Grossi.
Here.
Commissioner Joe Colosimo.
Here.
Commissioner Brianna King.
Here.
Commissioner Sandy Griffiths.
Here.
Commissioner Bruce Evans.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. Good evening. My name is Joe Hewitt, and I'm the Vice Chairperson of the Planning and Zoning Commission. I will be presiding over the Commission's deliberations on hearings and action items this evening. The Planning and Zoning Commission sits in advisory capacity to the Town Council. As such, the Commission reviews planning and zoning issues and forwards recommendations regarding these important issues to the Town Council. All members are appointed by the Council and volunteer their time. This evening's proceedings will be conducted as follows. First, I will read the hearing item into the record. Staff will then present the case and the recommendations to the Commission. The applicant will be invited to address the Commissioners and the Commission and answer any questions from the Commission. The floor will then be open to comments from the public regarding the hearing item. If you wish to speak during the call to the public or on any agenda item, on tonight's agenda, please pre-register your name with the clerk prior to the commencement of the meeting or any time prior to the meeting on the Town Council Prescott Valley's website, Town Prescott Valley's website. When you're recognized by the clerk, please come to the microphone and state your name and address for the record. After all pre-registered speakers' comments, the chair may call for an additional non-registered speakers wishing to speak to the podium. The speakers will then state their name for the record and also their address to the clerk at the podium and will begin their comments when directed by the chair. I ask that you direct your pertinent comments to the Commission through the chairperson and not to staff or any individuals within the audience. A 3-minute time limit will be imposed, and we just ask that you respect that. After public comment has been closed, the item will then return to the applicant, if needed, then to the Commission for comment and or a motion and vote. So I'd like to call the January 12th, 2026 Planning and Zoning Commission meeting to order. Are there any announcements?
No, Chair.
Okay, seeing no announcements, we're going to go ahead and move on to approval of the minutes. Certainly entertain a motion for the approval of the December 8th, 2025 regular meeting minutes. If any members have had a chance to review those and if there are any changes.
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion to approve the December 8th, 2025 regular meeting minutes of the Prescott Valley Planning and Zoning Commission meeting.
I have a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Got a motion and a second. Would you please take a roll call, please?
Vice Chairperson Hewitt.
Yes.
Commissioner Colosimo.
Yes.
Commissioner Evans.
Yes.
Commissioner Griffiths.
Yes.
Commissioner King.
Yes.
Commissioner Grossi.
Yes.
Okay, at this time, we'd like to do the call to the public. Members of the public are allowed to address the Planning and Zoning Commission on any issue within the jurisdiction of the commission, except for items for public hearing at this meeting. The speaker may have up to 3 minutes to speak, as stated before. Any person wishing to address the commission must first obviously register. Do we have any people registered to speak?
Yes, we have one speaker registered, Mr. Chris Russo.
Thank you. Mr. Russo?
Good evening, Vice Chairman and Commissioners. My name is Chris Russo. I live at 6430 East Kilkenny in Prescott Valley. And, I want to first of all appreciate you guys, tell you thank you for sending that positive vote to the Town Council for Government Tank. I know some of you voted no, but I want to tell you I appreciate you doing that. Now, this is something that I was at a meeting here, I don't know, at the other place that you had the meeting over there by the school, I guess a month ago or so, and I was kind of, I was taken aback by something that happened, and I want to just, I want to address those two items that I had. Number one, I wanted to talk about why did Joe Colosimo have to recuse himself from voting on the government tank rezoning? I'll tell you, he was warned by members of PVCA and other PACs through an intermediary that he would be sued for conflicts of interest because there was a remote chance that he would be affected monetarily from a possible decrease in his home's worth if the gravel pit went to Site 1. So this group of people wanted to ruin Joe's livelihood for a policy difference. But another committeeman on this panel can vote no and use a reason why he didn't have all the information he needed. So there was no demands for recusal or no demands for abstaining. Why? Because he voted with the people that threatened Joe. That committeeman should have abstained. Joe has been attacked by these same PAC members and council members for not being an expert in planning and zoning, whatever that means. But a person can vote no who doesn't have all the information. One is scrutinized one way and the other one another way. The bottom line is anyone who is a resident of Prescott Valley can run or be appointed to any position available in this town. All that is needed is a willingness to serve. Just like the woman at our last council meeting said when she was handing out awards to other members, and I think somewhere on planning zoning, for years of past service. Policy and laws and rules can be learned. Willingness to serve is a gift and does not depend on any expertise. All things can be learned. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Russo. Are there anybody else that would like to speak that hasn't had a chance to register? Okay, seeing none, we're going to go ahead and move to our public hearing items. First item is 7A, GPA 25-002, Harlequin Drive duplex, consideration and possible action on that item. Ms. Cleveland, if you wouldn't mind.
Give me one moment here. Can you hear me? There we go. Good evening, Commission. My name is Brittany Cleveland. I'm a Planner 1 with Development Services for the town of Prescott Valley. I am going to be presenting the two public hearing items before you tonight in one presentation. The first for a general plan amendment and the second for a rezone for the development of a duplex. So these applications before you have to go through all of our required processes. The applicant had to host a neighborhood meeting and notify all property owners within 1,000 feet of their property. The applicant stated that nobody attended the neighborhood meeting, which to us indicates that there are no objections to this development. We are located on the intersection, near the intersection of Robert Road and Spouse. So if you take a look at this zoning configuration, we are currently in an RL10 zoning district, which is restricted to single-family only. The requested rezone is to a RS designation, residential services. This does permit the proposed development of a duplex, and we see this as a consistent with the area and as a transitional zoning between that single family and the nearby CN there. I just wanted to zoom out a little bit on this configuration of the intersection here where you see commercial, a little bit of CG, a little bit of CN, and then at the end over here, if you'll notice, we have all of these RS zoning designations as transitions, a few of which we've seen before just in recent years, consistent with this application. The one to the south there, Robert Road duplexes, I brought before this commission just earlier, I guess not this year anymore, but within a few months. And it was for a similar configuration, a duplex in an RS zone. And then if you'll see over to the east over there, we saw a similar ask for the general plan amendment and a rezone for a Wagon Way duplex, just so that it's all consistent. I also wanted to call attention to these lots that are in a similar situation to this lot that we're seeing tonight. They're in a RL zone next to the commercial zone, and speculatively it could be that there isn't that transition, but I just wanted to call out that those are currently undeveloped.
Ms. Cleveland, could you go back to the previous slide, please? Thank you, Chair. So the other previous duplexes from the C25 and 2024, that's when those lots came before P&Z and went to council for approval for duplexes, correct?
That is correct.
So on this screen that we're looking at, what are the dotted white squares?
Those are the properties that I wanted to call out, just to note the pattern in the area that we have similar configurations to where we are now. In the black lines there, that is the project that we're looking at today. I just wanted to call out those vacant lots that are in a similar configuration there.
I'm sorry, I'm not following you. So the white dots are already built as duplexes?
No, they are currently sitting vacant.
They're vacant. So those are possibilities at some point in time that could come before a zoning map and a general plan amendment change.
For that transitional zone, yeah.
Thank you very much.
Of course. This slide is just to speak to the general plan amendment request. We are currently sitting at a low density compatible with the RL zoning. With the rezoning request, we're asking to change the designation to community commercial to allow for that duplex development. Also calling out here within our general plan, we have goals and policies listed. The one that I wanted to highlight mostly in our housing element and in our land use element is that we want to have more affordable and diverse housing, which duplexes we consider as a missing middle, which does, according to our Prescott Valley Housing Assessment, positively affect housing affordability in the area. Here is a landscape plan and overall site plan of the configuration of the project that we're looking at to pair with this zone map change. It is going to be a 2-unit duplex, 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom, single-car garage. And as always, all codes must be in compliance with Chapter 13. Here's some elevations to get a better look at what this project would look like. And with that, I will turn it over to any questions that you may have for me, and we have the applicant joining virtually.
Thank you, Ms. Cleveland. Commissioners, do you have any questions?
I have one question.
Okay.
October 9th, there was a public notice. I want to confirm that no one showed up for that meeting on October 9th. Is that correct?
That is what the applicant reported on their application. I can have the applicant speak for themselves.
I couldn't hear her clearly.
She, there was nothing recorded on the application or the applicant's information that anybody attended, but she said she could get the applicant to speak for
Okay.
himself. They're joining virtually. If the applicant can hear us and maybe answer that question, that would be great.
Okay.
Kim, if you can hear us, there was a question on the attendance for the neighborhood meeting.
Are they muted?
They're muted, yeah. But
Sorry, Kim, we
Okay.
can't hear you.
We're
There you
sorry.
go.
We're sorry. We can hear you now.
Perfect.
I'm here and my husband's here too. I'm sorry, we didn't hear the question.
There was a question on attendance for the neighborhood meeting.
Yes, there was nobody attended.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Sure.
Mr. Chair,
yes, ma'am.
I have a question for Ms. Cleveland. For verification and confirmation, could the Zoom link party please state their name so we know who we're talking with?
Yes, it's Phil Merrill.
And Kim Merrill.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, I have one more question.
Yes, go ahead.
And I believe that this will have to be answered by Mr. Latier, Ms. Cleveland.
Good evening.
Happy New Year, sir. Nice to see you. I see and I understand what we're trying to do with duplexes. And Mr. and Mrs. Merrill, you might want to interject as well. This lot has a very deep rear setback of 25 feet. And what I'm seeing happening with duplexes, especially this one, the driveway just holds one car. So when you drive around and look at all of the duplexes being occupied, it seems that there are way more automobiles trying to fit into a duplex, one-car garage, two-bedroom duplex. And we're creating a scenario of multiple cars on a property trying to back out, get out, and I feel that we have a potential safety concern at some point in time. And I would like to know what your thoughts are when we look at duplexes in the future, Mr. Latier. Do we have the possibility to reduce rear yard setbacks and allow for more driveway turnaround radius so we're not stacking cars in a lot, because that's what's going to happen with this. And while I have the Merrills on Zoom, I'd like to know if they would be open to potentially putting in a driveway turnout so the car could back out into the turnout without going into the street and having to come back in. So thank you, Mr. Latier. Comments, please.
Thank you, Vice Chair and Commission. That's a very good question. The concern about backing into the street, that is a town standard. That standard is applied to collector roads and arterials. This road, Harlequin, is a local street, so that requirement really does not necessarily apply. I think that you do ask a good question, though. We have talked in the Development Services Department about the town's current standard for minimum driveway widths and such. I don't think that's really been totally resolved at this point, but I think you do ask a good question about parking, and if it is a concern, we can address the applicant about it in their design.
Thank you, Mr. Latier. And I did drive down Harlequin. I took a road trip, and I did as well. I had a calming force that it was not a major road. I didn't see any issues. It's right there as you turn the corner, but I do appreciate that the town is looking at this so we can come up with some sort of resolution and change for the future, unless our applicant would like to add a turnout.
Yeah, this is Phil Merrill. I think that would be beneficial if we did have more room and less in the back, possibly, if that's possible. We have a few other duplexes, and the backyards really don't get utilized much. And also, we would be, happy to put in a two-car driveway and a turnout as well, as much as, you guys would allow, would be better for parking, and I would completely agree with that.
Mr. Merrill, thank you. I'm sure that there will need to be conversations with Development Services staff on how that moves forward, but I greatly appreciate your willingness and understanding to help maneuver cars and people. So I'm sure that town staff will be in touch with you, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Griffiths. I have to add to that comment while we're talking about it. I also visited the site, and I understand these are classified as local roads. Very familiar with that, but I echo the same concern in that the driveways literally back out at an intersection, the T intersection with Arnold, and then on the northeast corner across the street, that property has a driveway that comes out right at the radius point of the two intersecting streets, which creates a real problem. So adding, for lack of a better term, maybe a hammerhead on each driveway to where people can maneuver and head out. I don't know how much room a rear setback variance would give them, but certainly adding that would potentially give more room for additional vehicles and also more room for a person that may not feel comfortable. Now, again, Arnold, the intersection at Arnold's a stop condition, so they're going to be watching out. But that rate, I don't know if you guys were out there, but there's a driveway coming right out of the radius, and that's the one I'm most concerned with. So if they make this condition, then a person has an option to head out, do a three-point turn and head out as opposed to not. So
Yes, thank you, Vice Chair. That's a good comment. We did notice that when we were reviewing the project.
All right, thank you.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to thank the Merrills again for believing in Prescott Valley and bringing forward, Mr. and Mrs. Merrill, a product that is so well needed in our town, and I applaud you for that.
Oh, well, we appreciate you considering the rezone as well.
Does any of the commissioners have any questions of the staff? Any questions for the applicant? Does the applicant have any further comment?
I don't believe so.
Okay. Well, at this time, then, I would like to open the floor and this will be, I'm assuming, Ms. Cleveland, that you covered both the general plan amendment and the zoning map change.
That is correct. I believe you can open it for public hearing for one item at a time.
So I will now open the floor for public comment, both on the general plan amendment and the zoning map change. So I will open that floor for public comment. Clerk, is there anybody that's registered to speak?
No.
Is there anybody in the audience that did not register that would like to speak? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and close the floor to public comment and then bring it back to the commission. And if there are no other questions, these items have to be two separate votes. So I would entertain a motion for the first general plan amendment, 25-002.
I'll move that the Planning and Zoning Commission recommend approval to the Town Council for General Plan Amendment 25-002.
I'll second that, Mr. Chair.
I have a motion and a second. Clerk, can you take a roll call vote?
Vice Chairperson Hewitt,
Yes.
Commissioner Colosimo,
Yes.
Commissioner Evans,
Yes.
Commissioner Griffiths,
Yes.
Commissioner King,
Yes.
Commissioner Grossi.
Okay, thank you. That item passes. And then we'll move to 7B, zoning map change 25-009 on the same property. Certainly would entertain a motion for that item.
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion to forward zoning map change 25-009 to Town Council with the proposed conditions of approval.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Clerk, will you take a roll call vote, please?
Vice Chairperson Huot,
Yes.
Commissioner Colosimo,
Yes.
Commissioner Evans,
Yes.
Commissioner Griffiths,
Yes.
Commissioner King,
Yes.
Commissioner Grassi.
Yes.
Okay, we'll move on to item number 8, action items, PDP 25-005, Quad City Christian Church, a consideration of possible action. Ms. Cleveland, if you could, oh, not Ms. Cleveland. Stacy.
Good evening, thank you. Yes, Stacy Bristow, Development Services Director, Commissioners, Vice Chair, town staff, and community members. I just wanted to say thank you to my staff, Brittany. Having 2 items on the agenda is a heavy lift, and it's a lot to get prepared for, so I want to thank her for all her efforts in doing all this. She's quite talented and very detail-oriented. She doesn't really miss much. Sometimes I have to check my work with her, so I want to say a special thanks to her for all of that. And then also, the TIA is not attached to this, as you'll notice, and so I just wanted to comment quickly on that. We do have our town engineer if you have any questions. It is still being vetted. It's in the process, and we typically won't bring something forward to you that's in process. It will be completed for town council and it will go out with their packets. But however, if you have any questions lightly, I'm sure the town engineer can answer that for you. So with that, I will bring Brittany back up. Thank you for your time.
Okay. And before you start, we echo that same accolade. Thank you, Ms. Cleveland. Yeah, Ms. Cleveland, if you could grab that mic and get it just a little closer to you, that'd be great. Appreciate that.
Okay, can we hear me now? Yes. Okay, sorry. The feedback here is a little echoey. Okay, so this next item before you is PDP 25-005. This is a modification of a previously existing preliminary development plan that was approved with the original rezoning, I believe in 2007, for this pad area here that you see on your screen, just north of the high school and northwest of the intersection of Glassford Hill and Long Look. We are here before you, like I said, as a modification to the PDP that was approved with the original rezoning. It is standard procedure to come before you to do the modification, and then the ordinance that was approved stipulates that we have to take a final development plan forward to town council. As a comment to the zoning designation, churches are permitted in this zone, as are they permitted in all zones. Standard procedure with any application, we have to check to make sure it is in compliance with our general plan. This land use designation is community commercial, and we find that it is in alignment with our goal of the general plan's infill development. The applicant provided a video here, so I'm going to let that play. The property is about 9 acres. We're at 34-foot height, which meets our height minimum requirement. We're looking at about 43,000 square feet, 750-seat auditorium, including offices, an education wing, cafe, and youth activity and play areas. This video is a little bit long, but it's worth it. And the applicant is here today, so I'll have them speak to specifics at the end of this presentation.
While we're watching the video, I just have a real quick question.
Sure.
It's been 17 years since the first approval, and I understand these things take time to collect money and all that sort of thing. The memo's sort of unclear. Is there any major changes to, the size of the church, the seating capacity, the facilities from what was approved 17 years ago? I'm just curious as to the general.
Yeah, the original PDP was actually for commercial development. It was a mixture of small to medium-sized retail uses.
Okay, so this is a totally different use.
Yes.
Okay, I apologize if I missed that in the memo. Thank you.
Thank you again to Michael Tickler Architects, our applicant, for putting that rendering together for us, really putting us in the project. I studied architecture, so I know how hard it is to pull those videos together. Here's just an elevation that was provided to us by the applicant, giving us that detail, again, 34 feet in height. Here's another elevation from inside that courtyard. You'll see that under through and some of those frontages. And then here is the site plan. Like I said, the project is about 9 acres, and we've been coordinating heavily with Public Works and John Latier, our town engineer, on configuring everything that needs to happen. With that, I am available for questions. The applicant is here, and John Latier is here as well.
Commissioners, do you have any questions for Ms. Cleveland? Yes, okay, go ahead, Commissioner.
Ms. Cleveland, so Glassford is a main road through Prescott Valley. Why I bring that up is how many services are going to be offered? What I'm getting at is how will the traffic in that area in a very busy intersection be managed? Is there a plan for that?
I'll let John Latier answer that. As a part of the requirements, we do ask that they submit a traffic impact analysis, but John can answer specifically.
Thank you, Vice Chair and Commission. That's a good question. We have required a traffic impact analysis from the applicant. They submitted that today. So we got it this afternoon. We've gone through a couple versions with them when they were looking at a different site, so we're very familiar with the traffic needs in that area. We're also aware of some other potential future development in the area, so we want to make sure that we coordinate this development with anything else that could happen in that area.
Thank you.
John, while you're still here, I'd like to kind of add on to that. So obviously you got the TIA today, and that could take a little bit of time to review. Do you anticipate, it looks like they've got a right-in, right-out on a Glassford, like a pork chop, with a pork chop. Do you anticipate that that's going to stay, or will their main access be off the Bradshaw? Or is the intent for that to stay?
The intent will be for that to stay. In fact, the right-in, right-out condition is controlled by the median in Glassford,
Sure.
so the pork chop won't be necessary.
Oh,
and
right.
We've commented on that.
Okay. What's that?
I said, good, that was one of my questions,
Yeah.
to remove the pork chop.
Right, and we've also talked to them and made comments about potential development to the north. When you look in the packet, there's a picture that shows the original PDP that shows multiple accesses off Glassford Hill. And we've talked to them about leaving this project flexible such that when development comes into the north, that could be converted to a joint use driveway with accessing the property to the north. So there might be a little bit of a shift in there. Part of that operation also looks at potential openings in the median to allow directional left turns and traffic operations like that.
Sure. So will their TIA kind of talk a little bit about that, or do you think they've included that scope in their traffic impact analysis?
I haven't looked at it yet. We got it about 2 o'clock this afternoon, so I'll try to glance at it on my phone, but
Sure. And
might take a little while, but yeah, we'll make sure that gets taken care of.
And then the other question with regard to traffic, obviously, it's hard to envision that there can be any further build out for any other turning movements or accel, decel sort of stuff for Bradshaw Mountain, the road going into the high school. Is this just kind of semantics that they had to send in the TIA, or are they going to look at that intersection pretty heavily?
Yeah, that's the Long Look intersection, and we have looked at that, and we're aware of that in terms of operations here. We realize the peak traffic volumes for the church time is going to be off-peak for Glassford Hills, so that's a little bit of an advantage. We're also working with them on, we're taking a look at the internal circulation to make sure vehicles can get in and out efficiently without causing backups to the signalized intersection. At the same time, that intersection does have dual left turns, eastbound and westbound, so
Right.
it's been set up pretty well to accommodate future development.
Yeah, and to Commissioner Grassi's point about the times, making sure that
Yes.
you're not conflicting with high peak hours because that intersection does get pretty crowded.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. That's all from me. Any other questions from the commission?
Yes, Mr. Chair, thank you. Mr. Letier, I would like to also add on to the TIA. I was a little concerned when I read that a TIA was going to be required when we've already established ingress and egress because of the high school. So I almost felt as if we were putting an extra load and expense on the church because they're not adding to traffic volume Monday through Friday. They're doing something like you said, which is an off-peak hour on Sunday. So please explain to me why we requested a TIA when I feel most of it has already been brought forward.
That's a good question. Thank you. There's a couple of reasons. One is the proximity of the driveway entrances. Even though you've already got an operating high school, the traffic volumes could be considered similar. But if you look at the locations of the driveways and their proximity to the signalized intersection, we want to make sure that we have proper engineering documentation to support the development.
Thank you, Mr. Letier.
Thank you. Any other questions from the commission?
I do have a quick question. I'm assuming like most other churches, you guys will have midweek services and stuff like that. When would those take place?
That I don't know. I don't know if the applicant is here.
Well, we can certainly have the applicant come up if you'd like, sir. Come on up and, yeah, that'd be great. Come up and state your name for the record if you would.
Thank you, Vice Chairperson and Commissioners. My name is Jason Price. I am the lead pastor of Quad City Christian Church. As far as midweek, I would assume at our current, we have two campuses currently. We have one in Prescott. We also have a campus already in Prescott Valley. We've been serving this community for 4 years now, and so grateful for the opportunity to continue that in the future. Certainly a Wednesday night kind of youth group night would be absolutely a part of our plan moving forward. And so the capacity of that is obviously much less than what we would be experiencing on a Sunday morning.
Thank you.
And as far as the parking, we totally understand the concern related to the traffic. And I would just be, thank you, Mrs. Griffiths. You know, our traffic patterns and capacity is going to be far less than what's going on on and off of that road Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. and 3 p.m. And so it's not going to be, if there's enough load there for what they're doing Monday through Friday at 8 and 3, there's going to be significantly enough space for us to get in and out on a Sunday morning where traffic is much less. So if there's any other questions, I'd love to answer them.
Commission, any other questions?
Yeah. Mr. Price, where's the current Prescott Valley location at?
Currently, we are meeting actually right next door over here. It's right at the HUSD at what used to be the Glassford Hill Middle School, which is now the HUSD, I don't know what exactly they call it. It's now the admin building. They just converted it, and so that theater that is there, we set up and tear down every week. And so as far as the traffic impact, you can look at it every week. We're already doing it literally right at that same junction every week. So, yeah.
Any other questions from the commission?
Mr. Vice Chair, yes.
You go ahead.
Thank you, Pastor, for being here tonight. Since some of the traffic is going to have ingress and egress onto Bradshaw Mountain High School Service Road, do you have a letter of agreement from Bradshaw that you can travel their road?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for asking. That's a great question. Yeah, we have created an easement that has already been recorded with the town. We've gotten permission set up an agreement with the school, with HUSD, through their board. We do have a copy of it if anybody would like to see it. But yeah, there's an easement that has been agreed to for us to leverage 2 drives off of their road. So the first one, as you're looking at the drawing there, that first one is obviously just a right in. The exit will be the one that would be further to the west. And so that would be people would come out that direction to come down to the light. And so, yeah, all of that is taken care of. We've got an agreement with the school that has been recorded. So we have a legal easement to leverage that driveway.
Thank you. I'm sure for staff that letter of agreement will be part of the council package.
I'm sure it's going to be, given to the town for sure.
And one more question, Pastor. I feel confident that you received the letter from Central Arizona Fire and Medical with all of your requirements?
Yes, that our architect has taken care of that. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Thank you, sir.
You're very welcome.
Commissioner Griffiths, and that was actually a good question. Mr. Letier, does the town not maintain that road currently?
Correct. That's a private road.
Oh, okay. It's well maintained, well striped. There's no portion of that as it enters the intersection that the town.
Actually, the town right-of-way extends just a little bit west of the intersection,
Okay.
and then it's private west of that.
Perfect. All right. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you, Pastor. Any other questions from the commission?
Vice Chair, I have one more question for Miss Brittany.
Okay.
And I feel I probably have the answer, but I just want it to go on record. The landscaping plan that was in our package shows the ingress and egress onto East Lone Cactus Drive. And I feel that this was an earlier plan before the church relocated to their new land. Is that correct?
Correct. We will make sure that that is updated for town council.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Cleveland. So this is a action item. It is not an item typically that we have a public comment period, but not to draw this out, I'd really like to see if anybody has expressed any concern for public comment or any registrants.
No.
Yeah, and then, so is there anybody in the audience, obviously not registered, because generally this doesn't allow for public comment. Is there anybody that wished to come up and speak? Mr. Grassi? Mr. Russo, excuse me. State your name, please, and
Yeah,
address.
Chris Russo, again, 6430 East Kilkenny. We can never have too many churches.
Amen. All right, sorry if I could say that from position. Okay, so seeing that there's no other comments from the floor, I bring it back to the commission for any questions or comments. If there are none, I would certainly entertain a motion for PDP 25-005.
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion to forward PDP 25-005 Quad City Christian Church to Town Council with the attached stipulations.
He's got a motion in a second. We have a second. Clerk, will you take a roll call vote, please?
Vice Chairperson Huot,
Yes.
Commissioner Colosimo,
Yes.
Commissioner Evans,
Yes.
Commissioner Griffiths,
Yes.
Commissioner King,
Yes.
Commissioner Grassi.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you. So we've reached the end of today's Planning and Zoning Commission, so I would certainly entertain a motion for adjournment.
I move we go home.
Got a second? All in favor? Any opposed? We are adjourned.